To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
Most of us go to our graves with our greatness in us. Most of us, ladies and gentlemen, most people when they die, you can literally put under their names, dead but not used up yet. Because most people go through life holding back. Most people go through life not giving their all. Most people have their lives on hold.
You may not have a lot of resources to justify your confidence. You may not have the talents or abilities that you can brag about. So in order for you to win, you're going to have to do the only thing that you can do. You're going to have to believe that you are there and you are going to win. In order to be a winner, you've got to act like one first.
See, most people want to experiment, ladies and gentlemen. Most people want to be perfect when they come out the gate. Most people want to do things right all the time. You're not going to do everything right. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of struggles. You're going to feel dumb and ask questions and don't know what to do or where to go. And that's part of growing. That's part of the experimentation process. See, life is about living. Life is about growing. Life is about challenging yourself. Life is about stretching. What if you don't make it? So what? I'm enjoying the trip.
What you have to realize about the beginning of success is that the competition is the hardest at the beginning. You have to understand that success in anything at the beginning, there's way more people doing it. So what I want you to do is I want you to picture a pyramid. And at the bottom of the pyramid, the base of the pyramid, you have 100 people doing what it is you want to do. Now, 2 years later, 20 of those people are going to quit. They're going to decide, hey, this isn't what I love anymore, so this isn't for me. So they're just going to quit. So now you're on the second level and you have 80 people. Now 2 more years down the road, you're going to have 30 more people quit. For the same reason I said, it's going to get hard. Things aren't paying off the right way. They're not making enough money. They're having to work too much. Their girlfriend, their wife, their husband, their boyfriend doesn't like what they do. They spend too much time in the office. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever the reason is, they're going to quit. So those 30 people quit. Now you're on level 3 and there's only 50 people left. Half of what started. Half. And you're 3 years into it. Now, 2 more years go by. And out of that 50, 20 more people quit. Now you're on level 4 and there's 30 people. And so on and so on and so on. So the longer you stay in the game, the less people you're competing with, less competition, and it's easier. So what a lot of you guys don't realize, and the reason I'm pointing this out, is that in the beginning of anything that you're trying to do, whether you're trying to be an athlete, whether you're trying to be an entrepreneur, whether you're trying to be an entrepreneur, whether you're trying to be a singer, a rapper, it doesn't matter. The beginning is always going to be the hardest. You don't know what you're doing, and there's a million others doing the same because it doesn't take much to do. So you have to understand that when you first start, it's going to be the hardest struggle. You're going to have to put in the most time. You're going to have to put in the most effort. But the people who stick it out are going to be the people who are left over when all the smoke clears. Success is more about endurance than it is about special skill set. A lot of you guys look at people who are up the ladder from where you are and you think they have special skills. It's not that they have special skills. It's that they have skills that they developed by having internal grit and endurance and persistence and perseverance longer than anyone. But guess what? If you do the same, you'll learn the same. They're not more talented. They're not better. They're not stronger or whatever than you. They're not smarter. They've just been doing it.
Successful people are not seeking money, they're seeking freedom. What is freedom? Freedom, man. I get to do what I want, when I want, as long as I want. how I want. I get to say what I want to whoever I want. Okay, that's freedom.
Doing less has never solved my problems. Doing less, moderation, has never solved a problem for me.
Just hustle and grit and courage. I've called on people I didn't want to be with. I've done things I didn't want to do, okay? It is not about doing what you love. It's about doing whatever it takes to make your dreams a reality.
Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their minds wake in the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act on their dreams with open eyes to make them possible. The only difference between the greats, the only difference between those who are remembered and those who are forgotten, is the willingness to step up to the plate and call their shot.
Never lower a target. Never lower a target. Your mom and dad would tell you to lower a target. Be reasonable. Be reasonable with yourself. Just bring it down a little bit. No, man, if you're going to give up on your own dream, how are you going to build an organization?
As humans, one of the things that we hunger for most is purpose and meaning. So don't worry about whether or not it succeeds. Ask only about whether or not it's going to light you on fire. Ask only if in those dark moments that it will give you that sense of mattering to this world. The things that will give you purpose and meaning in your life, they're going to be hard. But if you can look at the hard things and show up and push every day and keep striving, and when you fall down, pick yourself back up and focus only on one thing, not whether or not you're going to win, but whether or not it matters that you played. If you do that, every sacrifice in your life will be worth it.
How bad do you want your goal right now? Like, how bad do you want? Do you want it as bad as breathing? Do you want it as bad as anything you ever wanted in your life? People that are the hungriest, they find a way.
Most people hit that moment of action and they stop. They stop because they're tired. They stop because circumstance dictates. They stop because they don't have enough money. They stop because they're too young. They stop because they're too old. They stop for a whole host of reasons that at the end of the day are total bull. They stop because they can't muster the belief in themselves to move forward, to believe that their actions will have the consequences that they want, to believe in themselves that their actions will generate a reward.
As we conquer the challenge makes us a better person. You and I are better, not because our life has been easy. You and I are better because life is challenging. Everything worthwhile is uphill, and when you wake up in the morning, you should be looking uphill. You should be looking at those challenges that are before you. Now, don't take them on all at once. Today, just pick out one. Something that's going to make you stretch. Start conquering that challenge. You will feel so much better because you were made for that challenge. There is no success. It's not possible without action. If you want to gain traction, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to move from point A to point B, you can't think about it. You have to act on it.
You will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. That was preparing me for bigger and better things.
You see, commitment sticks. And whatever we commit to, it's only inevitable with a little bit of time that becomes a reality. So if I can see what you commit to, I can see the person that you'll become. I would tell you today, you are just one commitment away from having something in your life that you really want.
You are not responsible for the world. Only responsible for your work, so just do it.
All the greats on this planet were addicted to something. You got to get addicted to something. Good. All addictions are not created equal. I'm addicted to my purpose. I'm addicted to helping out. I'm addicted to making a difference. I'm addicted to doing whatever it takes to show and be an example of the blessings that I have.
You can put those things down in your life. You could decide today that you were born to do something great. You could set aside this weapon that you keep using against yourself to hold you back from your joy, from your passion, from your achievement, from all the goodies in life. You can decide today, just intentionally, to set this weapon down, whatever it is. Something from your childhood, a divorce, a business failure, something you're just not proud of that you've done. Set it down. Stop using it as a weapon against yourself and realize that happened for you and not to you.
Life is not easy. Life is difficult. It really is. What makes life difficult for a lot of people is they're looking for a quick way, a quick answer, an easy way. There are none.
Listen to me. All men are created equal. Some work harder. Some get up at 2:30 in the morning. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't surrender. Some of us don't give up and give in.
The fight, the daily fight, is a challenge. You will not always want to do what you need to do. You will not always feel like doing something you need to do. You may not want to fight that battle, but you need to.
Everything worthwhile is uphill. That's a fact. You've never heard someone talk about accidental achievements. You've never heard someone that got to the top of the mountain and somebody asked them, how did you get there? Kind of look confused and say, I have no idea. They know how they got there. The reason they know how they got there is because they had to walk all the way up the mountain. Nobody lifted them. There were no shortcuts. There's not an elevator. There's not an escalator. It's all effort that gets you to the top of the mountain. There are a whole lot of people, they want to be inspired in great things, but they don't want to do the hard work to achieve those great things. It's not either or, it's both and. Possibilities are always surrounded by challenges. You got to get through the challenges to get to the possibilities, but it's worth it. You got to get through the hard stuff so you can get to the good soft stuff. That's the way it is with life. That's the way it is with possibilities.